Hello everyone, welcome back to Math Lessons with L. Today's video, we're going to go over multiplying and dividing fractions and whole numbers. Now, if you've seen some of my previous videos, you've already showed demonstrations of multiplying and dividing fractions. Now, we're going to incorporate whole numbers. Here's our first example. So here we have 8 times 3 over 4 for 3/4. What we do is, to make this a little familiar to what we already know, we're going to turn this whole number of 8 into a fraction. 8 over 1 is the same thing as saying 8. So we can just go ahead and start multiplying our fraction. Now, as you can see, 8 and 4 have the 4 in common. We can cross factor. This becomes 1. That becomes 2. So then we simply have 2 times 3, which is 6. We have 1 times 1, which is 1, which gives you our answer, 6 over 1, or 6. Okay, so it's very simple. If we know how to multiply fractions, we can easily multiply fractions and whole numbers. Just make sure we turn this whole number into a fraction, and we simply do that by just putting a 1 in the denominator. Let's look at another example. Now, let's see what it looks like dividing fractions and whole numbers. Let's do 6 divided by, let's do 3. Let's do 3/4 again. I like 3/4. Okay, so we got 6 divided by 3/4. Now remember, when dividing fractions, even if we have this whole number, the rules stay the same. So we bring this 6 down, we change the division sign to multiplication sign, then we get the reciprocal, or we just flip the fraction of 3/4 and make it 4 over 3. So this is our new expression. Now we can go ahead, make that 6 over 1 to make them alike as fractions, and we can go ahead and multiply. As you can see, 3 and 6 have the 3 in common, so we can cross factor. This becomes 1. That becomes 2. Now we can simply multiply. Numerator and numerator. 2 times 4 gives you 8. 1 times 1 gives you 1. Eight over 1 equals 8. Now, let's do another example. This one has a little extra to it. So instead of starting off with, we're going to use the same numbers. We're going to do 3/4 divided by 6. Now, instead of 6 divided by 3/4, we're going to do 3/4 divided by 6. The rules don't change. I should have did this on the first problem, but I didn't. But we're going to make this a fraction. 6 over 1 Now we're going to change the expression. 3/4 times 1/6. So as you see, 6/1, we have to take the reciprocal of that. So we flipped it and made it 1/6. Now we can begin to multiply our fractions. Again, 3 and 6 have the 3 in common. We can cross factor. That becomes 1. This becomes 2. Now we can go ahead and multiply. 1 by 1 is 1. 4 by 2 is 8. So this is our answer, 1/8. Now let's look at the relationship between the last problem and this problem. Now the last problem was 6 divided by 3/4. So it seems to me, and then we got the answer to be 8. So it seems to me that if we were to do the opposite, flip these around as we did here, we're going to get the reciprocal as an answer. Just a little interesting tidbit, that you can go ahead and take as a fact with you and add it to your mathematical arsenal. Well, that's multiplying and dividing fractions and whole numbers together. Basically, the rules don't change. They stay the same. We're just going to turn a whole number into a fraction. And we do that by just putting a denominator of 1 under the whole number. And then we go ahead and continue on with finding our answer as instructed before. And remember, with dividing fractions, we want to change our sign and then get the reciprocal of the next fraction. That's all for today's video. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, have a good one.